Hello everyone and welcome back to It's Personal. I am Mona and this is color along part number 8. The previous video we finished up the wall over here in this beautiful Indian red color, and today we are going to focus on the foreground, specifically the grass area, and if there's time we will get to the shrubbery as well. So in the previous video I was a little bit on the enthusiastic side, so I gave you guys all the colors we will be using, but we only ended up using the top 2 rows. So I'm going to quickly give you the run through on those colors again just to refresh our memories. So the main colors for the grass are going to be the kiwi green over here, 118, the 140 olive green, and then the bottle green, 116. And then if there's time, which we hope there is, we will be getting to the shrubbery at the bottom of the image, those 2 bushes, and then the little grass patches at the bottom as well. And this is going to be then in the 277, which is a chartreuse, I still can't say that correctly, a leaf green color, and then a forest green for the 135. So let's see how far we get. These colors all come from the Kalour color pencil collection, and this is my color chart where all those pencils were. And then yeah, I just picked them from this grouping, and then yeah, I just went with it. All right, so let's get into the grass now. Let's not hassle or dazzle or do anything weird. Let's just do it. Let's do it. I'm just quickly gonna sharpen the pencils because they need a little bit of love before we can start with this project today. All right, and then we're not going to work on those. We need the grass ones first. All right, and remembering today to turn the pen to turn the sharpener and not the pencils. There you go. Hey, look at that. I remembered it correctly today. All right, so I'm gonna zoom you guys in a little bit again, like we did in the previous videos, and then it's just a little bit easier to see it. The aesthetics of the pencils in the background are really nice, but I think you guys would probably prefer to see the coloring process instead of just the pretty pencils in the background. All right, let's do this. All right, we're going to start with, as we always do, start with a base layer. We're going to use the kiwi green. These poor pencils on the grass are going to have a beating today, but yeah, they will survive. I will survive. What is the point of having the color pencils if you are not going to use them for what they are intended to color with? All right, so let's put on our base color first, and I'm going to try very hard not to go over the lines too much, and again using those circular motions as much as possible to get an even layer of color, staying within the lines, Mona. That is the mission. Okay, right, little green there. The greens I picked at the moment are like, they're more like olivey tone greens and muted greens. It's not vibrant grass greens, more like yellowish. There's more yellowish tones, if I can put it like that. It's not your cool greens. That's what I think I want to try and say. It's warmer greens. I think that's the overall aesthetic of this project, is more warm tones. I actually shouldn't be coloring those little grass patches because I probably need to make them stand out, but it's okay. We cover them with the base layer and then we will bring them back with the darker green, I think. Okay, let's do this side. Circular motions. I forgot to ask you guys in the previous video, what projects are you busy with? What have you started this week? Have you started anything new? Have you maybe finished a project? Is there something you want to start doing but you have not had the time yet? I've been trying to think this week of what projects I can start, or what videos I can do for you guys as well, and for myself, of course. What would be fun, what would I enjoy. And I want to record one more video today specifically, but I'm not sure what I want to do precisely. I want to paint, but I also want to make some cards again. My little card supply is now growing close to 30 cards, which I'll hopefully get a place to sell by the end of the year. But yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. Do I want to record some card making? Do I want to do some painting? I'm feeling paint because I haven't like properly painted in a bit. I feel like grabbing my sketchbook and my gouache and just sitting, and I want to record it for you guys and for myself, and I want to record it, and then I can just do a voiceover for it afterwards. You know, like a speed up video again, like with the mixed media one that's out already. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, there you go, that's one, and then we still need to do the foreground one. All right, let's see let's start over here. The grass is going to be a big mission today, but it's getting us closer and closer to the end. The thing with Kalour, it doesn't take, it's not a quick thing. It's a patient process, especially if you want to put down a lot of layers and use different colors. Then it takes time, but it's also it's a skill you have to learn. Like with most things in life, art has a learning curve, and the mediums you use have a learning curve. Like, I'm not going to be I can't get the same results with gouache, let's say, with water paint and pencils, if I don't practice them. If I wanted to do this project in a painting version, it is going to take a different kind of skill set to get that done, because I'm going to have to mix colors and paint, and so it's different in that sense. Not impossible, just different, and a different kind of skill set that needs to be acquired. I remember many years ago, when I first started getting into some art stuff, I bought a set of Kyoto watercolor pencils, and because at that stage I did not have finances for like watercolor sets and stuff, so I bought the pencils because I was like, okay, fine, I can color with them, technically speaking, and then I can just use some watercolor over them. So I started with that. It was interesting, the techniques I learned while using those watercolor pencils. Some days I would color, and then I would go in with the water brush, and then I would like blend it out, and then other days I would literally wet the pencil and then go in with a brush on top of it and just take the color directly from the pencil and then use that on the picture. And then I would sit with a handful of pencils and doing these really fine little flowers, which actually turned out really nicely just by using like fine details and small brushes and little bits of paint at a time, watercolor at a time. And I used the pencils to do that, and I was like, and I got the urge the other day again to like, shouldn't I do that again? Because I was really precise in how I used those pencils at that time, and how little I used. I think that's the incorrect word I'm using for it. Oh, the screen is really pretty. This is a really beautiful green. But yeah, I still have those watercolor pencils, the Kyoto ones, and I am thinking I need to pull them out again to see if I still got it to use them in that specific way, because after that I bought the watercolor, the tubes of watercolors, and I put them in a watercolor pan, in like in a I forgot the word for it now. Tray? It's not tray, it's the wrong word. It's not tray, it's a palette. I put them in a watercolor palette, they dried, and now I use them out of the tray or the pan. I think I switched over because I realized I can get more color versatility out of the tubes of paint that have dried in my watercolor palette than I can get out of the different pencils, which is not true, to be honest. You can mix the pencils just as well as you can mix the mix from the palette. It was just changing the way I used the medium that made a difference, I guess. And I think it kind of also helped me to loosen up, so I wasn't so focused on detail work, because watercolor is one of those things, it goes a long way. Little goes a long way. It really does go a long way. Okay guys, that looks looking pretty nice. Just grab some fluids quickly. Okay, now let's start off. Use this one now. The olive green needs to come in. Okay, let's do. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the olive green around the edges of the pathway, and then I'm going to use the darker green from let's say from the wall downwards a little bit, and then from the bottom up over here a little bit, and then I'm going to come back in with the kiwi green like in the center of both of them, and then blend them out as far as possible. What do you guys think? I think that sounds like a pretty good idea. I hope. I really hope. Let's get down to the bottom over here. Well, you guys can see, I can see, everyone can see. Oh yeah, this is a much darker, like a warmer color. Okay, circular motions, Mona. I think I'm thinking about these little grassies now over here that I want to I just want to make them stand out, because I'm so scared I'm going to keep on coloring all over them and then they are just going to disappear into the background. They are so cute. They cannot just disappear. So let's just give them some quick little life before you guys can see me do that. Okay. Alright. They've got a little bit of color now. Now I feel better about them, so they don't feel excluded from the coloring process. I know guys, I'm random. Doesn't make sense what I say half of the time. Nope, but it's okay. It's okay. I might need to kind of sharpen this pencil again. Keep forgetting to turn the sharpener. It's all right. bit darker right on the edge, and then lighter hand as I go up. Stuff is in the way. Okay, we'll work from this side to that side. Let's do this one next. It's really a beautiful olive green color. Yeah. I love color. Sometimes it just makes me like extra happy to see stuff like this. I was like, look at an image like this and how it's coming together after like so many parts. I mean, this is part number 8. I don't know who's still around for part number 8, but I have no regrets, and I think that's the important part. Slow and steady wins the race. There you go. I think I've mentioned this in a couple of videos now, and I'm always going to keep on saying it. It's like, you don't have to rush your art or the process of it. You can enjoy it as well. And that's the point. What is the point of a hobby if you cannot enjoy it? What is the point if you cannot take your time and enjoy it? I want to create content, but I also want to enjoy doing it. And if I can find people that are like-minded in this, then just enjoy sitting down, watching something like this and seeing progress over a while instead of quick fixes and quick content to watch, then I'll be happy. Okay, let's do that little corner over there, and then we can do the darker green from the top parts. Probably bring this down just a tiny little bit more in spots. It's kind of looking nice. Put it a little bit more over here. Bring that down a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Let's see. I think there's as much color on the edge on that border as there is going to be if there. Oh, my English doesn't want to English today. Not today. Oh, I'm over the lines again. There you go. I'm thinking that is looking pretty decent. Oops, sorry for that, everyone. There you go. Alright, that is looking pretty cool. Alright, now for the darker pencil from the tops and the bottom upwards. Let's do this. Let's start in the corner. You guys will see I turned the entire image again today because I want to see what I'm doing properly or not struggle as much with. This is the bottle green one. I'm gonna have to be very gentle with this color. This is a much darker green. So like you guys can see, it's much darker than the rest. Okay. It's definitely a beautiful color. I think it works really well. Get that little spot of green. That looks really cute. It's coming along very nicely. Alright, let's do the foreground. Grass patch in the front. Let's turn it again. Start on this side. Let's do the sharpen because that is a really tight corner. Good. I'm focusing extremely hard at the moment. I'm trying not to get the green on the little like wooden pillars for the fencing. But like I said, I was trying. Some days you win, some days you lose. I'm too rough. I'm like, that's why. I will just blend it out later with some browns when we do the fencing. You win some, you lose some, I guess. Today, staying in between the lines is just not something I'm getting right, which is fine. Happy mistakes. Or happy little accidents. It's looking pretty cool. I think it's a good idea that I chose a different tone of colors for like the grass and those shrubs, because else it might just fade into the foreground. Everything might look the same. I think there is definitely, I can probably use these same pencils to get like a different look, but I kind of don't want to. I kind of want to use those other where is the paper again? I want to use these. I think these ones are going to look really pretty on the shrubbery and the grass. Just a little bit different. The shades are a little bit cooler, but I think they're still going to look nice. We will see. If I lay it down and some of it looks wacky, we might put in some warmer tones again, but We will see when we get there. I'm just going to try and blend some of this to the foreground a little bit more. We're going to go over with it, which was the color again? Yeah, the kiwi green. I'm going to use that again right now in a moment to fill in all those spaces. So then we can mix these two, well, the three colors together, and then it's going to make a nice little uniform. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I think that is uniform color scheme. Into the cracks and crevices, small spaces. There we go. Alright. I think what I want to do is I want to use this bottle green from on these little patch and just like put a little bit of darker, see if I can make it just a little bit darker, some of them, you know, like they've got some shadowy bits. Oh, I bumped the camera again, sorry guys. Just a little, just a tiny bit. You almost cannot see it, but when you get close enough to the image, you can definitely tell there's different colors in those little grass patches, grassy patches. Last one over here, and then we're back to kiwi green. Okay, so I have a little bit of a thought. I had a thought now. Maybe I need to put in a little yellow, not a lot, just a tiny bit. Maybe I should stick to one of these, maybe use one of these. I'm thinking I need to take the 36 and just put down a little bit of the yellow before I blend it out with the kiwi, because it is autumn, and in the theme of autumn, grass isn't always going to be super green everywhere all the time. So I think I'm going to use this dark yellow from which I used in the trim and in the bricks over here in the previous video, and I'm going to put a little bit of it on the grass, like it's patchy per se. Yeah, and let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Because then I can go over it with the kiwi green again. Just the patches where the grass is not as green anymore, where you can see autumn is like kicking in. You know, it's got the vibes of the trees at the background as well. So, why not? Keep everything in the image cohesive. That is why we keep the Starry Stampy cup around with all the pencils from the previous layers and the previous parts of the image. So we can go back and use them again. Oh yeah, I think this was a good idea. I think this was a very good idea. Okay. Some over here. Let's see. Okay, I think that is enough of this color. Thank you, dark yellow. You have served your purpose. Yeah, I think that's going to be interesting. It's going to add a little bit of something extra. Alright, back to kiwi green. And let's start finishing up this middle layer. Let's do the pencil as we go, so we can fill in all the little gaps. Let's see if we can zoom in just a little bit. So I'm going to try and see if I can get a little bit of an angle. Try and avoid the glare of the pencils. These color pencils tend to give off a glare when you got lights on them, depending on the wax content of the pencils and all those lovely things. So yeah. You can see the tints of that dark yellow coming through, but it's not like overwhelming. So it's like it gives you the impression that the grass has died a little in some places. It's lost its color and it's not as vibrant as it was in the middle of summer. Section over here. Sharpen this pencil, let's get it on the blunt side. It is very much on the blunt side. Okay. Get a little bit more out of it before I sharpen it. It's done. It needs a sharpen now. You can only color so much before it becomes a problem. We can't get proper color down or even color. So I was just thinking and just wondering, what do you guys do when you are, you know, when you're busy with a project, or you're coloring or you're crocheting? Do you like to just listen to some music? Or you guys, do you like series, or do you watch a movie, documentaries? What is your jam when you are busy with a project? What do you like having in the background? I go through seasons of things. Like when I'm recording right now, I've got some worship instrumental worship playlist going in the background. And softly in my head, I'm also like, because I recognize the worship song, so I'm like singing along kind of in my head. But when I'm busy with other projects, I like to put on some podcasts of those I like to watch, some gaming content podcasts, or maybe a video. The things I enjoy, even the games I enjoy playing, I like watching those people's content on it. Or if I really want to be inspired, I go to an art video. Let's just do that for a second. I think that is looking pretty cool. There we go. Alright, we are back in between the little fencing again. Trying not to get all the green onto the fences. Guys, I don't think we're going to get to the shrubbery today. I knew this grass was going to take forever. And it does take a minute. But it's looking so satisfactory. It is so satisfying to see it all come together. Bit by bit. Slowly but surely. Oh, don't mess with that right now. Let's sharpen this one a little bit again. The poor pencil is having a day. And the shavings are coming along in the bottle as well. One of these days I'm going to show you guys the big bottle I have with all the shavings in them. It's just satisfying to fill it up. I have no idea if I'm ever going to use it for anything. But just having it on the shelf in the background, it's nice. No purpose, no nothing. It just exists there. Makes my eyes happy. I guess that is all that matters. Doesn't have to make anyone else happy. I enjoy it there. It shows me a sense of progress when I see all those pencil shavings. I'm like, this is how many pencils I've actually like used in projects and I've sharpened over the last couple of years. And I think it's a symbol of progress and the journey. And that's cool. It's like the same idea when you open up a sketchbook and you fill up a sketchbook for the first time, and then it's like, I've never filled up a proper sketchbook before. I have one. I'm trying very hard to fill it up one day. But I think it's the same concept. When you flip through a sketchbook, it like shows you the journey you've been on, the progress you've made, and you might not love all of the projects in your sketchbook, but it shows kind of where you come from and what you've learned along the way and the mistakes you've made even. And then even the projects and the art pieces you've created that you've really loved and you enjoyed learning from them. And yeah, I think that's the same with the bottle of sharpened pencil shavings, sharpened shavings. That's the same thing for me. Or maybe you put all the artwork in like a flip file or like a sleeved envelope to keep it all safe. You flip through that and you get a sense of, aha, this is the progress I've made. Because not all the art we do is meant to be like hung up on a wall. Some of it's just supposed to be private in your sketchbook and in your file where you keep it safe. For your eyes only, like they would say. There you go, guys. I thought. I think this grass is done. There you go. Let me zoom out a bit again. Look at that. Wow. Oh, I think we've got the camera good. We do. Most of it. Scoochie a little bit. There you go. Look at that, guys. That is looking so nice. Yay! Tiny victories. We are not going to get around to the grass patches today, unfortunately, but I think this was progress enough. Yeah, we'll see what happens in the next video. Maybe in the next video I'll really get to the shrubbery like I've been promising now for 2 videos. But we've made progress. The wall is done, the foreground and the grass is done, most of the big parts of the image are done. The big parts that are still probably left are I think the background maybe, but the rest of it is tiny. It's the small details, it's the small things that still need to be done, but I'm excited for those. I'm excited to get this wrapped up. I don't know, I'm not even going to say how many parts are left, so I don't know. We will see. We will see where the pencil flows with us. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, you can do all the YouTube things for me. The like and subscribes, I would really appreciate it. This channel is at like 71 subscribers. I would really like to hit 100 at one point. It's a little bit of an accomplishment I really want to get to. But yeah, thank you everyone for supporting and being around, and those that have commented, I love you very much, and thank you for just sticking out the journey with me so far, because this is a long and tedious process, I know, but I think it's a satisfying one, and it's one that's needed, and change the world small bits at a time. Thank you guys. Have a lovely, fantastic day wherever you are, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.